Hello there and welcome back to International Fathers. I'm your host and your creator, Nelson Moody Senior.
Yeah. All right.
Today we're back with another guest who is going to share her story about fathers and fatherhood around the world and internationally. And without further ado, we're going to just jump right into the topics of our conversation today with my guest. What is your view on fatherhood?
My view on fatherhood is responsibility.
Hmm.
When I think of fatherhood, responsibility comes to mind. A father, one who takes care of his children,
Okay.
being there for them in every form. It could be, I'm talking about from being born
Hmm.
till they die. Providing for them emotionally,
Hmm.
physically, spiritually, mentally,
Hmm.
socially,
Okay.
everything. And that's really pretty much what comes to mind when I think of fatherhood.
Okay.
A great father.
So with that being in mind of a great father, you mentioned from birth to death. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40 years of you being a father to your child or children. Also in that same equation, you mentioned something that I like to talk about a lot. That's the well-being of that child.
Yes.
The emotional status, the mental status, the emotional status, the psychological status, and the
Yes.
social status.
Yes.
What I tell people is that children watch you,
Mhm.
okay? And if you are a father
Mhm.
that lack these qualities, that child or children can also lack some of those too.
Exactly.
However, we're going to flip the script because here we talk about the positive and the goodness of fathers.
Yes.
So when dad is emotionally stable, those children are emotionally stable.
Exactly.
When dad is mentally sharp and alert, those children are mentally sharp and alert. When dad is psychologically coherent, those children are the same way,
Yes.
and so on and so on and so on.
Exactly.
Okay,
Mhm.
outstanding there. How was it for you when you were growing up? Were you uh, raised with dad?
No. I was raised by a single mother. My
Okay,
father was not in my life.
okay,
I met my father for the first time when I was at the age of, I believe, 13. It had
13.
to be a year or a year and a half before I moved to the United States. And he was there. Because in Africa we wear uniform in school
Okay,
and we buy our own textbooks.
okay,
So I remember my father, when I first met him, he purchased all my school supplies,
mm-hmm.
my uniform, and he was there.
Okay,
And somewhere something happened and we lost touch. Then I moved to America
okay,
and we reconnected in 2009. In 2009, we spoke for a little bit for maybe 8 months to a year. We spoke, and something just happened. It died. Our
okay,
conversation just
okay,
died. So I
okay,
haven't talked to my father since 2009.
okay.
Hmm.
So I'm going to go back because my listening audience out there around the world in YouTube land who listen to this talk show that's like no other
Hmm.
out there.
Yes.
Uh, you are my first international guest
Oh wow. Oh, I'm honored.
on the
Thank
show.
you. Thank you. I am honored. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
You are from Africa, you say, and you
Yes.
came to the United States some
Yes.
years back. What part of Africa you are from?
I'm from Zimbabwe, and I came to the United States in 1997. It was August of 1997
Okay.
that I moved here.
You moved here in the United States from Zimbabwe
Yes.
in '97. When you say here in the United States, What specific state or
Oh,
cities?
I moved originally. It was I moved to Texas
Okay.
in Allen. It's a
Okay.
city in Allen. I went to high school there,
Okay.
and then when I moved to Dallas.
Okay.
Yes.
So for all you out there that are living in Dallas,
Hi.
she's representing not.
Yes.
My guess is not only representing the continent of Africa, but she's also representing the state of Texas.
Yeah.
So all you Facebook fans and friends of mine on Facebook who will watch this video and on YouTube land, this is your homegirl.
Yes, I love Texas. I love Texas. I'm a Southern girl.
Wow, um, wow. As again, I say, you are my first international guest, and that, if it doesn't mean much to you, it means a whole lot to me because of the show being International Fathers, which means that we cover fathers and their stories internationally, and you're just the beginning, the first one of many, many more to come.
Well, no, it means so much to me as
Okay.
well. I mean, I'm honored. This is probably my first interview ever in my whole life.
Wow.
So I am, and for it to be an important subject that's because it's very dear to me.
Okay.
Yes, fatherhood, motherhood, family is that's a very, very important topic to me.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm very, very honored. It is very special to me. Probably it could be more important to me than it is to you.
Okay. Okay. So then, with that in mind, then let's just get down to the meat. Let's
Okay.
let's just get down and dirty with this topic
Okay.
of fathers.
Okay.
You mentioned the emotional and psychological, the social, the emotional. What about the other positive attributes of a caring father that fathers display to and on their children?
Are you talking in terms of things a father can teach
Yes,
their
just
children?
teach, show,
Yes.
nurturing, all that good stuff.
Well, as a female, it's very important to have a father. And especially when it comes to boys.
No.
Yes. Because when you have a father in the house,
Mm-hmm.
how he is,
Mm-hmm.
we learn from that. You mentioned that earlier.
Right.
If he loves the mother
Mm-hmm.
and takes care of her,
Mm-hmm.
then when we grow up,
Mm-hmm.
we want the same thing. So if he was like so loving to the mother, taking care of her, just spoiling her,
Mm-hmm.
and just being good,
Okay.
like
Okay.
good to her, then I would know what a good man is when I grow up,
Amen.
and that'll help me to choose the man
Mm-hmm.
that I end up with. Now, if the father was the opposite,
Right.
you'll find that some women, they'll grow up choosing
Okay.
that's the same type of man because that's all she knows.
Mm-hmm.
So if the father, even if he's not a good father to the mother,
Okay.
but at least if he can teach the girl,
Okay.
his girls,
Mm-hmm.
his female children,
Right.
what a man is,
Okay.
what a man's supposed to do,
Okay.
that can help us women be with the right man. Some women think that it's okay for a man to hit on her because nobody ever told her that it's wrong.
Mm.
So the fathers are very important to play that role.
Okay.
So I didn't have a father,
Mm-hmm.
and without the father, you have the void.
Okay.
You have a void in you. You want someone to love you.
Okay.
So because of that void
Mm-hmm.
and him not being present,
Mm.
that can make anyone
Mm-hmm.
look for love in the wrong places
Mm.
and can end up getting into wrong situations. Okay? So I had that void in me and that desire to be loved,
Mm-hmm.
and I found myself in the wrong hands.
Okay.
Nobody told me, because I just thought, well, if at least if I love him,
Mm-hmm.
he can love me back.
Okay.
But nobody, if I was told what that a man is supposed to, they say that men, we are created for the man.
Right.
Okay, but what are we created for?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that is the job for the father to do,
Mm.
to teach his female children as well
Mm-hmm.
as the sons.
Right.
Okay, how to be a good man, and how to choose a good man, and how to have a good relationship
Mm-hmm.
and long-lasting marriage. So to me, it's, I didn't have that. I had to learn through my mistakes
Mm-hmm.
what a good man is. It took it took a couple of mistakes,
Okay.
and as I'm growing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also having to sit back and say, you know what he did, or what I'm seeing through other people's relationships,
Mm-hmm.
that no, I deserve better,
Mm.
and I'm having to teach myself. So when I have children,
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to teach them,
Right.
so that they don't have to go through situations that I went through.
Whew. All right. You said enough in this statement, if you have it, enough meat for me to chew on for the next 7 days.
Oh wow.
Now, let's go back to the last thing you said, father showing,
Yes.
on that line.
Mm-hmm.
I am a firm believer that when a father is in his son's life,
Mm-hmm.
in every way that you can think of, that son is going to want to
Mm-hmm.
emulate
Yes.
that father.
Yes.
Want to copy and mock his father
Yes.
in every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced that a girl who has a father in her life,
Mm-hmm.
who is active,
Mm-hmm.
she will not choose a guy nothing less
Yes.
than what her father is giving her.
Exactly. That is true. I'm a
Because
firm believer of that
this father is loving her unconditionally.
as well. Yes.
And if father get mad at her, or she get mad at father, for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like little giant down the street
Right.
that may get mad because she don't give him a kiss
Right.
and other things. Y'all know I keep everything PG, but y'all know what I'm talking about out there in YouTube land. Y'all know I like
Yes.
to keep it real also. Okay? So little Johnny gets upset
Mm-hmm.
because he can't go no further,
Right.
and then may say, well, I don't love you anymore.
Mm.
But that's okay because my father is going to love me unconditionally.
Yes. Yes.
Despite her.
Yes.
And that son watching dad,
Mm-hmm.
how he does things. Work, maintain, doing this, doing that, and treating mom with the same level of respect.
Yes.
That son is going to know how to carry himself,
Mm-hmm.
watching his father.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer in that. I'm also a firm believer in, and we talked before this, that you could take a group of girls between the ages of 9 and 15,
Mm-hmm.
and a group of boys in that same age bracket. Most of the time, by the way they talk and dress, you could tell if father is in their life.
That's true. That's very true. And also, you have some boys or
Mhm.
men who are fatherless, and they have the desire to be everything their father, not to be everything their father was.
Right.
If the father was not there, he gets the drive to want to be a good man, to take care of his mother, if she's single, to be the man in the house, to protect his mother, to learn, okay, when I get married, when I have children, I'm going to be there for them. I'm going to protect them. I'm going to love them. I'm going to teach them. I'm going to show them the way. I would never let go of sight of my children. They get that drive, and they inspire me, because you have other children that they are fatherless and they just don't care. They have that I don't care attitude, and they want to go out there and kill, steal, do all kinds of stuff, because of they didn't have a father. They just gave up. To me, I feel it's because they gave up because nobody loved them. So they feel like they could be worthless. So they just go out there and just don't have an I don't care attitude.
Well, you are being interviewed by, I was that guy.
Oh, wow.
I was a guy who didn't have my father.
Oh, wow.
But I turned my situation totally around.
Yes. Awesome.
My children know what it is to have a father.
Amen.
In their life. And it's because of what I didn't have.
Yes.
At the age of 10.
See, it was that void.
That void, that
the
drive.
void, that pain.
That pain.
How come daddy didn't love me?
Right.
Why was he not there?
Right.
All the questions that you might have, and sometimes we can get answers of why daddy was not there, and sometimes we don't. But even if you get those answers, they can never be comforting enough.
No.
So the only thing you could do is take that drive, that pain, and when you have children, is to love them and love hard, and never let go of your children. Because the world that we're in today is crazy. And I hear, older people, the older generation, they talk about how things were back then and how things are today. Our children are having children.
Right.
And those children.
More children.
Yes. Yeah, like, you're talking about age of 15.
Right.
They're having children. And they probably were motherless or fatherless, don't know love. And they have children. They don't know how to love these children that they're having. And the world that we live in today, I believe we need like an awakening. We need that, fatherhood and motherhood awakening, to where we take back the family.
Right.
Because family is, I don't see family being important today. Even on commercials, they're doing commercials. You see kids on the phones, and when is family time? We need that family time. It may not be in a house where both parents are there, but I believe if we can, even if it's a single mother or a single dad, bring your children together, turn off everything.
Right.
Because in France, when they have dinner in France, they turn off their cell phones. They don't have cell phones on. If you're having a get together, they turn everything off, the TV, everything. It's very important that we take a moment, turn off the TV, turn off the cell phones, sit at the table, have dinner, a nice cooked meal with your family at the table. Find out what happened in the day, what are things that they're struggling with. Help them with those things. And I believe even if it's to a single mother or a single father, we can help turn our children so they don't end up being a statistic. They don't end up going to the Penn State. They can go to the university,
right?
And be doctors and what have you, because there are so many, children out there that you find that, they're doctors, or they're in great careers that they're in, or their lives is amazing because they were raised by a single father or a single mother, because that single parent took the time to bring their children to the table, to keep the family, the closeness. We need that closeness. It's not just to say I have children and I provide for them.
Right.
No, the emotional support. We should be able to go to our parents and tell them how we feel.
Anything,
and it should be okay. It should be the parents should be able to be. They should be available and listen to that child, because if the child does not get that love, that emotional support, they're gonna go out there.
Yes, quick.
Yes.
Wow. You mentioned France.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to France. However, I've been to Europe by way of Germany in the 80s. And back then, when I was in Germany back in 85, I remember that a certain time of the day, from I believe was 11 to 3, it's quiet in Germany.
Oh wow!
Children are taking naps, they sleeping. It's like a quiet time. And then later on, that meal time. See, I believe in mealtime too.
Yes, we call it supper in Europe.
See,
supper time, and you have to go take a shower and then put some nice clothes on and go to the table.
Most times, between 6 and 6:30, my children now are eating our dinner.
Awesome.
Okay, we don't do breakfast because of school and work,
right?
Or lunch because of school and work,
right?
But I make it my business as much as possible to stay in that time frame, unless we're out. That's something totally different.
Right.
But I'm feeling you on that issue there. Now, you're from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
You left Zimbabwe, came over here to Dallas.
Yes.
Are there any comparisons to the structure? I'm speaking specifically of father now.
Okay.
In relationship to the topic.
Okay.
You see any comparisons, any similarities between the Zimbabwe, between Dallas, between Africa, between the United States?
What I'm seeing in America.
Let's start with Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Since you came from there.
In Zimbabwe, from what I remember, because I was young.
Okay.
Or even even to today.
Okay.
Families are important.
Okay.
Girls get married, and they have their children, and you keep that family. We're very, very, very close, and you have, children that don't have their fathers, that are fatherless, but the ones that are there, the man goes to work.
Okay.
They work hard to provide for their families.
Okay.
And I was never really in people's homes to see, but from what I have learned from my study and from seeing people, from my country, I want to say fathers, not just in Zimbabwe but in Africa period, are different from the fathers in Dallas or in America. Okay. There's a huge difference. The difference that I see comes mainly, I'm not being negative, but I'm being honest, is on the American father side, they seem to not care. And majority of the people that I hear, all they say is, I provide for my children. I don't see the relationship with the children. There are some that do. But when I'm around, because I can only speak for what I'm around and what I'm seeing, and they believe that going to work, making the money, that's all they're supposed to do.
It's more to it than that.
It's more than to it. Now, coming from on the African perspective, religion is number one. So the man runs the house based on religion. Most of them are Christians. So they want to emulate God. So they work hard. They are there for their children. They teach their children the Bible. They help their children find their way, what you want to be when you grow up. Those are things that they start when the children are little. And they help them. They are there every single step of the way. If the children are sick, they're constantly praying for them. If the children start to be, mischievous, they don't just some parents sort of kind of want to give up because the children are mischievous.
Okay.
They will be praying, and they will do whatever it takes to help their child and never give up on their child.
Okay.
And that's one thing that I'm not seeing in the American fathers.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that answered your question, but
that answered my question. But I must. My guest is speaking from her personal experience and what things that she have seen. That does not negate the fact that there are good fathers here in this country and good fathers around the world. This is just observation that she sees, and that I wanted to know about fathers in Zimbabwe. I wouldn't know about fathers in Africa, because I know that over here we have something that wears over sometimes, that fathers get the bad end of the stick when it comes to parenting.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that men are loving parents too. But it's not just here in the United States, it's international, that fathers face many, many struggles when it comes to just parenting. As you know, this talk show is encouraging, inspiring, uplifting, and positive, and that's all my vision, my focus will ever be. However, you know that here on YouTube, I also like to teach also, and my guest here is educating me as well as you in YouTube land of some differences, some similarities, and or some other things when it comes to fathers, because I believe that in this interview also, as well as the others, there's somebody out there that will be touched by this interview here. You just about answered a lot of the questions that I had.
Okay.
In those two long talks that you had. My last one, you answered that long time ago, and it's so strong on me, and that was how important is a father to girls. And on my guest, I kind of leave at last. If I'm talking to a guy, I ask how important it is to a son. But since you're a female, starting off as a girl, I want to know that answer, because most women say the same thing of the importance of their dad being there, so that they can look at him and say, I would like to have a husband just like that as I get older. And the way he treats my mother, even though they may not be together, he still treats my mom with a certain amount of respect.
Yes.
And I want a guy to treat me that same exact way.
Exactly. I mean, as you mentioned, we are what we see.
Okay.
Children copy from little. When they can start to walk and talk, they start to copy everything that we say and do. And also, even if the father was not there, the mother can also do her part and teach her daughters what kind of man to look for. If the mother leaves a different lifestyle, I can only think that's the only way to be.
Exactly.
And so it's very important, even if whatever the lifestyle the mother lives, at the end of the day, it's her responsibility. It's the father, even if whatever lifestyle he lives, it's his responsibility to teach both boys and girls what kind of man to look for and how to be a man. And also, as a man, what kind of woman to look for. So without that, some are lucky that they can just go out in life and meet the right man, or meet the right woman. Some is gonna take lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Some they will never learn. It just becomes a lifestyle because
Mm-hmm.
nobody takes the time to sit down and talk. So when you take someone
Okay.
and you sit down
Mm-hmm.
and talk with them heart to heart,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's a stranger, there's a feeling you get.
You're right.
Okay, you get that sense of loved
Mm-hmm.
and cared for.
Okay.
That the person took the time to sit down and talk to me heart to heart.
Mm-hmm.
So we always, it's good to have the elderly. It could
Mm-hmm.
be aunts, it could be ladies from the church, or anyone of who's there, who's available to take the
Mm-hmm.
young boys or to take the young girls
Mm-hmm.
and sit down and talk to them and teach them about life.
Just listen.
And listen.
Okay.
Exactly. Listen and also teach them.
Okay.
And to really, be the role model for them.
Mm-hmm.
The mother, the father they never had. And teach them and send them in the right path. So when you have someone that takes you and sit down with you, listen to you, and teach you, you can change that person's life.
Okay.
You can change, because it's the fact that someone cares for me. Now I have the drive to want to be a better person.
Okay.
Because someone cares for me.
Okay.
Someone loves me. So you get that hope,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to be a better person. When nobody cares for you,
Mm-hmm.
you just live your life carelessly. So that's why it's, when love is important.
Okay.
Love is important. Love is needed. So, I want to be a role model to women because I can see some women and I
Okay.
can tell, based on what I've been through.
Okay.
I can tell what path she's going, and I want to be there to, support her, encourage her, give her love, and just to help her in
Okay.
life. Some just need the little, little twitching
Mm-hmm.
here and there, and you can inspire someone and change their lives. It's very important to have that. What do you think about that?
Uh, this interview is inspiring people.
Yes.
Once they see it, they listen, they think.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a young lady out there that was a girl,
Mm-hmm.
just like you,
Yeah.
going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And you're not alone. Wherever you are, you're not alone. It's some people you feel sometimes when we're going through things in life.
Mm-hmm.
At times you might feel you're the only one going
Yes,
through
you
it.
do.
Yes, even if as you're the only one going through it, it may be painful, but you're not alone. There's hope for you out there. There is hope, and things will change for better. As you might think you may not, but things will change for better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can hook up with you, and then they can get in touch with other, if you have other fatherless children or
Mm-hmm.
motherless children. You can, well, I know you do mainly for my fatherless as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just
Right.
but yeah, they can get with you and get a community
Mm-hmm.
of fatherless children, so they cannot go through it alone.
Right.
Yes, sometimes you need somebody to be there for you, just to hold you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so no, you're not alone. I was there. I'm 31 years old now, and I have no regrets.
The phrase, the term, the quote, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, it's very true in Africa. It really, really does take a village to raise a child because the community is involved. If my child is out there acting crazy, my neighbor can discipline my child, and it's okay. In America, you go to jail, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because family is very important. It's tight, and we're there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's no that because you have families that don't even talk, but the community, your surrounding, that love, it's very important. Family love, very important.
My guest has said a mouthful. I'm afraid turkey spoonful. As you heard me say before, I am honored to have her on the show because she is the first international interview of many to come here on International Fathers. As we bring this interview to a close, I started saying this in the last 2 or 3 interviews with passion and compassion. If anyone out there knows Oprah Winfrey or her affiliates, let her know about International Fathers. Let her know about the show that encourages, inspires, and motivates fathers to bring out the best in them. This is not some shows where you'll see, let's see the DNA. You are the father.
Yes. Yeah.
This is not that type of show. This is not a show where we bash or degrade mothers, fathers, or children. This is only uplifting and encouraging. Oprah Winfrey, this is a show that you must have on your network.
Yes.
Changing lives.
Yes.
Once again, you know I'm going to say, fathers, 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 call those children. And children, 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 call those fathers. And fathers, 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 hug those children. And children, 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 hug those fathers. Until next time.